Hi friends, Robert here for Diverse Opals. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thank you to those of you who have been subscribing to our YouTube channel and also leaving comments. Today we're going to be working with one of the boulder pieces that we processed just recently on the $2 challenge, and we're going to be pinning it. I'll take you through the stages of being able to insert this into the stone. And we're going to need a number of tools for this. This is not a process that we can do by hand, so you are going to need some sort of a mechanical device. I'm using an R2000, a very high torque machine. So just drilling the hole outright is not that simple, because drilling a hole, sometimes we get the drill wandering. So what we need to do is to make a decision as to where the drill should start. So what I'm going to do is just mark it with a texture color, and I think we're pretty close now to being in the center. So the next thing I need to do is to countersink a hole. We want to put a slight concave or slight dish in the surface of the stone. So this is our core drill. This is about a 1mm core drill. There's a little indentation in the end, and that actually helps the drilling process. But before we use that, we're going to be using a little bowl shape, and the bowl shape will make that indentation in our opal. Just gentle pressure. We just do a little mark to see whether or not it's actually in the middle. I'm just going to take it over a little bit more. Whoops. So there we have your indentation, although I've had a bit of a wander to start with. That'll be covered by the pin itself. And what we'll do now is we will change the burr to a 1mm core drill today. I'm going to use water because the drilling surface isn't necessarily the side of the drill itself, even though there is diamond on there. The drilling surface is the very tip, and there isn't a lot of diamond there at all, because if that gets too hot, it will ultimately wear away and you'll be left with nothing, even though there is diamond on the side still. So we're going to work with water. We will submerge the stone in the water, and it doesn't have to be it only needs to be submerged enough where the hole is in fact under the water. Now you'll see the plumes of mud coming away. We can see the hole is getting a little bit deeper. We shouldn't rush this process because we can get the stone too hot. Lifting the burr in and out of the stone is advisable because we want to flush the swarf that's actually been drilled away from the stone. So we can hear there's definitely pressure being exerted on the drill. It's actually slowing, but we are making progress in and out of the hole, which will introduce cool fresh water into the hole and helps to flush the hole, helps to keep the drill bit cool, and just keep working until such time as we have reached the desired depth. There is definitely heat being generated. I can feel it in my thumb, but I think that we're almost there, and that's it. We're done. We're finished with the hole. I'm just going to clean it out a little bit by going up and down. You can still see a bit of brown coming out of the water, and that in effect is the hole made. So now you can see a close-up of the hole, and if we just check with the bale itself, we're just going to slip that in there. So now you can see that this is in there. What we need to do now, a bit of cleaning of the hole, And in this particular situation, I'm going to use an ultrasonic cleaner. The cleaner will knock out any dirt in here, because what we want is we want a nice clean hole. We don't want any remnants of particles of boulder or ironstone still in the hole. This is my ultrasonic cleaner. It's a budget model. It's ideal for the purposes that I use. An ultrasonic cleaner will take out all of the particles that have been left behind deposited on the surface of the stone. Just a warning, don't put your fingers into an ultrasonic cleaner. It's really quite detrimental to your bones. So we'll turn this off. That's how quickly the piece is being cleaned. Alright, so what we need to do is to make a dual purpose probe to put into the end of the boulder where I've actually made the hole. I'm now going to insert this into my drill. I'm going to start to bring the shape of this piece down. This may take a little bit of time, and you should use an appropriate grade of paper, but you can see this is already happening quickly. Now we've actually achieved what we hoped to achieve, and that was the right length. We can see that this is actually the length of the pin, and this works very nicely. Now there's two reasons for me to have made this. One, if we don't have the time and we want to do this quickly, we can use this to try and extract any moisture, but also to clean the hole thoroughly, just by working our way inside the hole. Okay, now we have reached the gluing stage. Making sure that your boulder is now dry, completely dry, because obviously it's not going to stick very well if it is in fact still wet. As I said, making sure that your hole is cleaned is very, very important. You don't want any residual powder in there. And what we'll do now is to use the ultra strong epoxy Yoo-hoo. This is a two-part epoxy. This is, as I said, there is a 5-minute version. I like to use the 24-hour because this is a very strong bond. And if you use it with heat, you can speed up the drying process, but also make it stronger as well. So let's get on with this gluing. All we need is a small amount, because we're only doing a small hole. Use equal amounts and mix thoroughly. Alright, we've finished the mixing process. If you're just intending to glue the pin in, you may not get all of that glue to the bottom of the hole. So this particular process is just allowing me to completely probe the hole, and what I'll do is just backfill it a little bit, just making sure that we have sufficient glue in there. Of course, when we put the pin in there, it's going to spill out of the top anyway, but I wanted to get as much glue as I possibly could into the hole. So it hasn't quite filled up yet. So what we'll do now is just push this in. You can either leave the residual amount of glue that's come out, or you can clean it up somewhat. So what we need to do now is just to lay this down on something firm and flat, making sure that if we were to place this in a position of where it would be hanging, the actual bail is square to the boulder itself, or the stone that you were in fact pinning. Here we have the final result of the pinning of the boulder opal that we were working on, and I think you'd be happy. with receiving something like this as a gift. As you can see, this is actually very, very secure in there. This is so secure in there, in fact, that I think you'd have trouble getting it out. The only way you're going to get this out is by using heat or to soften the glue, and that would be heating the pin, or you actually have to break the stone. It's so secure in there now. So yeah, I think it's a very good outcome. I'm very happy with it. I like the way it looks, and I hope that you've learned something from this. Please continue to subscribe to our channel or leave a comment or a like. I'm Robert for Diverse Opals.